Right.
No.
Sorry, Granny.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay. So, how long have you been baking for?
Since I was a little girl, when I lived in a farm, and my mother used to cook every day, and we used to make cakes and pies and even bread.
Okay. Has the way your parents bake affected the way you bake?
Definitely, yeah, it has. Because my mother come from Essex, and my father was Devon, and so I had a mix of how they used to cook. We used to cook some Essex way and some Devon ways. Okay?
Hmm. Do you think that baking has changed over the years?
Yes, definitely. But I still bake in the old-fashioned way because I'm not very keen on modern food.
How do you think it's changed then over the years?
It's more ingredients. You only had basic ingredients years ago, but now you've got so much to choose from to make everything you want, really.
Do you enjoy baking?
Yeah, I do. But sometimes you have to bake whether you want to or no. But it's nice to try new recipes.
Do you agree that programmes like the Great British Bake Off have inspired a new generation of people to do baking at home?
Oh, definitely, and old generation, because I've been watching it and trying out recipes from them.
Do you think that baking will be something? Do you think that baking will still be something that people will be doing in the future?
I would say so. It's cheaper to start with. And I don't know about the inner cities, but where you've got everything at hand in your takeaways, but most people cook and bake their Sunday lunch, and it's nice that way, better.
That's done.
I hope it comes out all right, boy.
Do you want to see it? Right. How long have you been baking for?
Probably since I've been married, or just before I was married, which is 30 years. And before that, just like occasionally of a weekend, now and again.
Has the way your parents baked affected the way you bake?
Not great the way they baked. The fact that they didn't really bake at all, really. Only at Christmas my mum might make mince pies or something like that, or the odd apple pie during the summer. But not a great deal of baking.
Do you think that baking has changed over the years?
Oh yes, greatly. With media and all these different television programmes, there's such a diverse array of ingredients and recipes, and you see it on the telly, you can read about them in magazines. People like to try different things.
Do you enjoy baking?
I love baking. I think it's very therapeutic. It's lovely to see when something comes together and it works out fine. Not so good when you spend ages making it and it tastes horrible or doesn't look very nice. It's not quite so appealing then. But generally speaking, yes, I enjoy cooking very much.
Do you agree that programmes like the Great British Bake Off have inspired a new generation of people to do baking at home?
Definitely. Like I said before, there's so much more out there now. There's different cuisines to try. People like to try different things. You might do some traditional stuff or local recipes, but there's much more variety out there now. And the television programmes, it's like, well, not step by step, but it explains to you how it's all done, what it's meant to look like, and it's much more encouraging because sometimes it's only got a few ingredients. It's not so frightening when you just see it written down as a recipe. When you see it actually made in front of you, it's quite inspiring, really.
Do you think that baking will be something that people will be doing in the future?
People have always baked and they always will. It's lovely to bake, to give presents, make a cake for someone is really well received. And everyday thing like baking bread, everyone eats bread. It's something that's always going to continue. It's a regular, normal, daily occurrence. and you know, and it will always continue.
Okay.
You thought that was alright? I blabbered a bit, didn't I? When I said cooking.
Okay. How long have you been baking for?
I've probably been baking for probably when I was really young with Mum, really, baking cakes, etc. So probably a good 10-15 years.
Has the way your parents baked affected the way you bake?
Yes, it has, yeah.
How?
It's made me a better baker, I think. It makes me more interested in it. I like trying different things. I like using different utensils and mixers and things like that, getting a different feel for it. And I think also Mum had more of a traditional way of making it with whisks and, you know, beating it with the arm. And nowadays it's a bit easier than that. But yeah, I think it has affected me.
Do you think that baking has changed over the years?
I think it has, like what I was saying a minute ago about my mum when they used to do it. Even in the olden days, you know, things like using things up to make cakes and to bake. Bread was homemade. It's easier accessible now from supermarkets, but it is still really nice to bake it.
Do you enjoy baking?
I love baking.
Do you agree that programmes like the Great British Bake Off have inspired a new generation of people to do baking at home?
Yes, I do. I think it's very much influenced people trying new things and using local produce as well to make things rather than buy things. I think it has affected it, yeah.
Do you think that baking will still be something that people will be doing in the future?
I hope so. Where else am I going to get my bread from?
Okay.